If you're not happy right now, you have the ability to make changes and make little decisions so that a little bit later today, you'll be happier. Every single one of us has this ability, and if you think this is all woo-woo and hippie thinking, it's not. Because look, we all know that eating right and exercising leads to better health. So why do so many people choose to not do that? And also, being a kind human being and treating other people well is one of the best ways to be a happier person yourself. So why do so many people choose not to do that? Instead of attaching happiness to possessions or money in the bank, try attaching happiness to what makes you feel good. I mean, people talk all the time about, chasing happiness. And recently, somebody that I follow on Instagram, who I've never met in person, but who I've had some DM conversations with, posted something about happiness. And that sort of sparked this video. But why do we call it a chase? Like we're chasing something that's so elusive that we might not ever catch it, but then if we do catch it, what do we do with it and how long will it last? First, spending time with other happy people brings you happiness, because think about it the other way. Who wants to be around and spend time with negative people that are always complaining about something but then doing nothing about it? And let me just say for the record that you cannot be happy by not being nice to other people. It just doesn't work that way, because that's called being selfish. And I think that's hard for some people to wrap their heads around, but it's true. So let's talk about inspiration for just a minute. And let me just say this right off the top. Being nice and friendly to other people will bring you happiness, period. In its simplest form, being a friendly human being, saying hi to people, smiling at people, giving compliments for no personal gain, and tipping your servers well, this all comes back to you. Because if you're always mean to people, you're always going to be that guy blaming everybody else for your own problems. So for example, I will never understand hateful comments on YouTube. And I have a pretty hard time wrapping my head around it. I mean, to go out of your way and get that pissed off and use hateful name calling and personal attacks just because you disagree with something somebody said in a YouTube video. I feel sorry for those people, because I know their life has to be in the toilet for them to be that pissed off at the world. There's a saying, hurt people, and that's true. Being around nice people who are happy is inspiring. Being around people who are successful is inspiring. And you have to see it that way, because you can't resent people for having more than you have. It really doesn't make sense. Learn from those people and get inspired by those people so that one day you can inspire somebody else. I mean, most people are just sort of living their lives without meaning or any satisfaction. They're just kind of going through the motions. They sit in traffic going to work at a job that they hate, and they sit in traffic again on the way to a home they hate or to a relationship that they kind of want to run away from, but they can't. There's no plan and no motivation to do anything else or anything else that's better, so nothing changes. I mean, trust me, I get it. You can't just quit your job because you've got bills to pay, right? You've got a mortgage and you've probably got some mouths to feed. But what if you had just enough money saved up so that you could quit? Maybe that money buys you 6 months to sort of try to figure out something else that's better. Start something that brings you joy. Give it attention and focus every day, and you can eventually escape that life and start living the one that you should be living. I think people need to realize that you can do something else, right? The life you're living now and the career that you have now does not have to be your future. People that are stuck in shitty situations feel like they're trapped and that there's no way out. And trust me, I can totally relate. And just a basic thought and the idea that you're stuck, that in itself can be sort of crippling. Because if you say it to yourself enough times, you really start to believe that you're stuck and that there's no way out. But you can get out. If you have ideas or thoughts about something that you think could possibly work, you owe it to yourself to give that attention and focus so that it can turn into something that actually saves you. Now, set aside some time every day to work on those ideas, because I can almost guarantee you that you can find a few hours every day to work on it. You can. I know you can. So listen, if you're at a point in your life where you feel hopeless and the light at the end of the tunnel keeps getting smaller and smaller, that is your wake-up call. That's it. That feeling of helplessness and self-despair, that's the feeling that will ultimately save your life. Because if you feel that like I have, you'll never want to feel it again, and you'll do everything that it takes, everything in your power not to feel that again. And I've talked about this in a video a few weeks ago And the older we get, because we've lived more time, the more we experience loss and failure. And I believe there's important lessons in failure, because if you haven't felt failure, you don't truly know what success feels like. You need that experience of failure to teach you to get back in touch with yourself, with your true north, your internal compass that's always there giving you direction through life. Your true north is always pointing in the right direction, and the emptiness you feel comes when you're not following that compass. It's always there giving you the direction. You just have to follow it. The problem is, it's not the easiest road. It's risky and a little dangerous. And most people take the safe road. But just remember, the safe road got you to where you are right now, the unhappy place. And the only way to escape is to take a different road. You can escape and be happy. You absolutely can. You just need a plan, and you need to work that plan. Put some money aside, every paycheck if you need to, and spend time on your ideas until they come to life. Because if you want it bad enough, my friend, you will find the motivation. Somebody once said that you have to work your plan as if your life depends on it, because it does. Now, there's a difference between just wanting to make a change and be happy but doing nothing about it, versus wanting it so badly you don't have any other choice. Find the motivation and the discipline to go after it and work it, because nobody else is going to do this for you. And that's what most people don't find, is the dedication and the motivation. But the consequences of not making a change is that you're right where you are, right now, stuck living the unfulfilled and unhappy life. That's your motivation. And I've made several life changes starting at about my late 30s. I changed careers. I went through a divorce. I relocated to a different state. I went broke, almost homeless, and then started a new business from zero to what it is today. I'm 100% in charge of my future, and I don't have to suck up to anybody to ask for a day off. Now, I don't have millions of dollars in the bank, but that's the wrong way to think about happiness, in my opinion. The fact that I get to do what I love every day, make my own schedule, that's something that makes me happy. Like it or not, my friends, the life you're living is temporary. Now, maybe you're like me, early 50s, feeling like you're 25 and full of energy, but that will change, I promise you. You will not always be a young man. You will get old and things will become more difficult for you to do. What I need you to do is remember that. Keep that old man that you will become in the back of your mind, and let him motivate you to get your shit done now. Work while you can. Live while you can, because someday you won't be able to. And that day might sneak up on you before you're ready for it. And here's something else to think about. A lot of people say to their spouse or to their partner that, "You make me so happy, and without you, I would be nothing." I mean, look, I totally get that, but realize the pressure that you just put on the other person. If they're the only thing that makes you happy, you need something else. Because even if you don't say that out loud, but you just think it, that is a ton of responsibility that you just put on that other person without them even knowing. You need to find happiness within yourself, not in somebody else. Because that feeling of happiness in somebody else is love, and that's different. So look, we all know exactly what's wrong with our own lives, and yet most of us do nothing to fix it. We choose to sit and complain and blame it on something else. But here comes some tough love. If you're not doing anything to fix your own situation, you don't get to complain about it over and over, because everybody's heard it already and it's getting old. You have to take action. You have to find the motivation and the discipline to change your own situation. Nobody's going to do this for you. So I heard something once, and I think it was probably on one of Joe Rogan's podcasts, but he had said to live your life like you're in a superhero movie, right? The movie starts out like they always do, with you right now in your shitty job, in your shitty apartment. And as the movie goes along, you find the power to become the hero. You have to, right? Because that's how all those movies play out. And it's such a cool way to think about your life, because it's you. And you will overcome your challenges. You will become the hero. I know you can. So your movie starts right now. Live your life and become the hero of your own movie. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please take just 1.5 seconds and hit that like button to let me know. And as always, my friends, thank you very much for watching. Live well, and I will see all you legends in the next video.